Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us live from the 802 Scoop in the Inside Scoop Studio, 185 North Main Street in Barre. As I told you this morning, I would be keeping in contact with local officials as well as state officials and about the dreaded F word that I think is safe to say gives us all extreme anxiety if we even hear about it, think about it, and it just brings up a lot of stuff for us. So we spoke with the fire department, with Chief Cushman this morning, Michael Booten did, and Joel Aldsworth has reached out and agreed to come on and kind of talk to us all about what's going on and what we might expect over the next few days. So welcome, Joel. Thank you so much for agreeing to come down here and joining us. What you got?
So in the next 24 hours, we're going to get between 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain. We do have quite a heavy snowpack right now, and I've been out the last 2 days checking the waterways, and as I normally do, and we have good levels. I mean, they're very low. We have hardly any ice through our tributaries. We do have a couple of little problem spots that we've been working on, but nothing out of the ordinary. The water is flowing quite nicely. I think we're not going to have like extreme 60-degree weather that's going to melt everything. The snow that we have does have a high water content right now, and so as we are hoping is a nice easy thaw to let us through here. And I think as you look at the forecast for the next 10 days, I think that's what we'll have, is a nice easy thaw out. One of our problems here in the city is that we're a bowl. We get all the debris from everybody else. So like the Stevens Branch and then Gunner Brook, South Barre Way, all that water comes down through here and merges into the city, and it gets deposited here. So that's why you see an increase in sediment and trees that run down through. So we've been watching that. We've been pretty proactive. The trestle is clear. Everything looks pretty good, and the city will be monitoring it. This point, we really don't anticipate anything huge happening here.
And even on a state level, what I'm hearing and seeing most is that they keep talking about what's at the summit, the snowpack at the summit, and possible ice jams and flooding and snow melt. But I don't think it's all that warm today, that's for sure. I know it was supposed to get to 50, and it didn't seem to get up to that temp at all. But what can we as a community do to help you all?
I think the biggest thing is, just keep eyes on what we have going on. We can't be everywhere within the city. And so really, if you see something, say something. It's kind of corny that everybody says that, but I think that's important. If you see something that could be a problem or a drain that's plugged, we need to know. And so that's a huge part. Highways out, still moving snow right now from the other storms that we've accumulated. And if there's anything of a concern that you could see that, potentially could be, either a large tree in the city right away that needs to be pruned back, or, hey, listen, there's a bunch of junk in the culvert here down in Jefferson Street, or, there's just stuff that we need to bring to our attention long term that we can put it on the list and get to it. Where if we necessarily don't see it right off and it becomes an issue, we're kind of behind the 8 ball on that. So I think that's important too. The other thing is those people with flat roofs. If you haven't cleared your drains and you haven't tried to shovel some of it off or knock some of the ice off, I think now's a good time for that. use that warm weather and the rain to help to do that, clear the drains out. The drains only work as well as it's uncovered up there on those flat roofs, so that's really important. For those folks that have snow that came off, it's really important to watch your vents that are on the sides of your house for your gas heaters and wall heaters. Make sure that's cleared out. If you do have a gas heater that vents out through the side, make sure that there is a sticker or a sign that's on above that so that it depicts that's where the location of the vent is. A lot of times if that gets obstructed by snow that's fallen off the roof or it's been damaged, we don't exactly know where that vent is, and so by putting it up 48 inches higher to where we can see it, then we can probably dig that out quicker, or you could, and that'll save you a lot of time. Carbon monoxide is always something that we have to worry about, especially when it's improperly vented or it's obstructed venting, so that's really important.
And I would assume that you all are talking to state officials as well, Vermont Emergency Management. You're all keeping in contact so you know what may be happening above us, or even a few towns over, as you said, can drastically affect us here. And so the communication is definitely key for all of you.
Yep, I've been in contact with emergency management. We get the emails from NOAA. They have not planned any updates or briefings. I do keep in contact with the local emergency managers. I've been in contact with the town of Barre, city of Montpelier, and I spoke with the town of Berlin this morning. We do communicate. I do push that out to all the fire chiefs and the emergency management directors, all the information that I come across. So yeah, we do talk quite often, and so everybody says the same thing, that they're probably going to have some low-lying stuff in Moretown and Waterbury, but nothing really that of concern right now that we're seeing.
Okay, so right now we're at low risk, and we should say that you were able, because right now we're at low risk and you're not super busy, you were able to come in here and do this for a few minutes. But if things do get different, you certainly are good at keeping contact, at least through text, and I can get the information out. But you're not going to be able to come in here and do these sorts of updates every little bit. You do have a lot to do, and a lot on your plate.
If we get busy, then I probably won't, but I'll be able to update through my messaging like I normally do. And of course, those folks that I'll put a plug in for Regroup. That's very important. That's the new messaging system that the city utilizes to push out information. They will still use VT Alert also. So if you have not signed up for either or both of those, I would push that out. Information is on the city website to access that. VT Alert can be a little more widespread. So if you're in other towns and you want to listen to what they're doing, or if you have family in those other towns.
If you got to go home from work or whatever, you
can identify where you're going to go. You'll get those push notices. Regroup is just for the city of Barre. It works very well. It's a great platform, and I think information is power, and I think that's really something that, in today's technologies, I think you should take advantage of that.
Yeah, it definitely has worked really well for a lot of things that we've seen over the winter months, so that's been really good. Is there anything else that you think we should know, how to, prepare ourselves, how to prepare the city, anything else that you think we should know? I'm thinking right now we should just stay calm, but there's really not a lot to be really anxious about at the moment. Like I said, we all certainly get that way every time this word is even said. But I feel like right now we can all stay calm, but stay diligent and heed what you're said, and make sure that you're and realize that the snow is going to melt, and that there are many things we have to worry about and take care of. Like you say, carbon monoxide poisoning, not just the possibility and potential of flooding.
Yeah, we're entering our 5th season now, mud season, and that's something that happens every year here, and so we've got to prepare for it. Bumpy roads and unfortunately, that creates more potholes, and we just need to have the patience so that we can catch up on what, winter has wrought on ourselves. The other part is that you take this time to say, okay, well, maybe we're potentially dodging a bullet here. What can I do to make my family and my home more resilient? How can I, prepare down the road? And so take that time to really look at, all right, do I have some staples in the house? Do I have a backup power source? Is it properly vented? Is it properly hooked to my fuse panel? And that type of stuff, that's important so that you can, sustain being in your home for a little while longer if the power grid should fail or, that type of stuff, so.
Well, we appreciate you. I know you said you have a lot going on this afternoon, appointments and things, and we already said you wear many different hats, and someday we're going to get you back in here to talk about your other hats because you certainly do a lot in the community and through the department, and would love to get you back in here sometime to talk about all of that. But before you raced off to your next meeting, you were gracious enough to come in here, and we greatly appreciate you, and I know the community does as well. So thank you very much for joining me.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure.
All right, and hopefully we won't see you again about this particular incident in the next, few days. But take care, everyone. Spread the word. As Joe said, make sure you sign up for Regroup in the city and VT Alert. Definitely a lot of information. Keep track of this page. And in news, and just see something, say something. And let's all proceed with caution together. So thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.